The harder you try to be happy, the sadder you are going to feel. It's a trap. It's like trying to grab a bar of wet soap in the bathtub. The tighter you squeeze it, the faster it shoots out of your hand. You look at your phone, and everyone else seems to be having a better time than you. They are thinner and richer, and their skin is glowing, and they are drinking green smoothies while doing yoga on a beach. And you think, what is wrong with me? Why aren't I happier? Here's the thing. When you are desperate to be rich, it just reminds you that you feel poor. When you are desperate to be loved, you end up feeling lonely. In the same way, when you are desperate to be happy, it's like holding up a big neon sign that says, I am not happy. And this is the great joke of being a human being. The desire to be happy is actually making us miserable. So the first terrible, wonderful truth I want to offer you is to stop trying. I don't mean give up and live under a bridge. I mean stop trying to force yourself to feel good all the time. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to be messy and feel afraid. In fact, admitting that things are hard is the first step to making them better. It's like when you finally admit you're lost. Only then can you pull over and look at the map. In the same way, when we accept that life is sometimes going to hurt, the hurt doesn't sting quite as much. It just becomes part of the deal.
Chapter 2. Congratulations, you're not special.
Now, I'm going to say something that might hurt your feelings a little bit, but I say it with total love. You are not special. I know, we were all told we were special. We got feel-good certificates for showing effort at school, for bare minimum nonsense when all we did was exist without causing a fire. We grew up thinking we were destined to be the next big thing. But here is the problem with needing to be special. It is exhausting. If you think you have to be extraordinary to be worth something, you are going to spend your whole life running on a treadmill that never stops. You will look at your ordinary life, your laundry, your bills, your average Tuesday, and feel like a failure. But most of life is ordinary. Most of life is just waiting in line, or flossing, or eating leftovers. And if you can accept that, if you can accept that you are just a regular person, doing your best, making mistakes, it takes a huge weight off your shoulders. You can stop performing. You can just be. You can find the magic in the plain, boring stuff. You can eat a sandwich and just enjoy the sandwich, without needing to post a picture of it to prove you're a foodie. Being average is actually a really safe, warm place to be. It means you don't have to save the world. You just have to be nice to your neighbor, and try not to be a jerk.
Chapter 3. Choose your suffering. Pain comes free with every dream.
We all want the good stuff. We all want the perfect job, the perfect partner, and the perfect body. But life is a package deal. You don't get the good stuff without the bad stuff. If you want the perfect body, you have to want the sweat, and the sore muscles, and the waking up early to go to the gym when it's cold outside. If you want the amazing career, you have to want the long hours, and the stress, and the risk of failing. So the question isn't what you want. The real question is, what pain are you willing to handle? Happiness isn't about having no problems. Happiness is about solving problems. It's about having better problems. I have a friend who thinks he wants to be a rock star, but doesn't want to practice his guitar. He doesn't want to load heavy equipment into a van or play in empty bars for no money. He just wants the applause. And because he doesn't want the struggle, he's never going to get the happiness. You have to pick your struggle. What it is that you are willing to suffer for. Because you are going to suffer. That's just life. Life is basically just one problem after another. Solve one, and another one pops up. Like whack-a-mole. So pick the problems you like. Pick the problems that make you feel alive.
Chapter 4. It's not your fault, but it is your job.
This is maybe the most important thing I've learned. Mostly the hard way. There is a big difference between something being your fault and something being your responsibility. Fault is about the past. Responsibility is about right now. Imagine you come home one day and there is a newborn baby on your doorstep. You didn't put it there. It is not your fault that there is a screaming baby on your porch. You didn't do anything wrong, but it is absolutely your responsibility. You have to do something. You have to pick it up. You have to feed it. Call for help. You can't just stand there yelling, "This isn't fair. I didn't order a baby." I mean, you can, but the baby is still there, and now it's crying louder. Life dumps babies on our doorsteps all the time. Maybe you had a terrible childhood. Maybe you got sick. Maybe you lost your job because your boss is a lunatic. It is not your fault. You are innocent. But it is your responsibility to deal with it. You are the only one who can fix your life. You are the only one who can heal your heart. Waiting for someone else to come fix it, or waiting for an apology that is never going to come, is just going to keep you stuck on the porch yelling at the sky. Taking responsibility is empowering. It feels like driving a car at night. You can see only as far as your headlights, but you can make the whole trip that way.
Chapter 5. Start ugly, finish less ugly.
I talk to so many people who want to start something, a book, a business, a diet, but they are frozen. They are waiting for inspiration. They are waiting to feel ready. Here is the secret. You are never going to feel ready. If you wait until you feel like doing it, you will be waiting until you are in your grave. We think that motivation leads to action. We think we need to get pumped up to do the work. But actually, it works the other way around. Action leads to motivation. If you don't know what to do, just do something. Anything. Wash one dish. Write one terrible sentence. Put on your running shoes, even if you don't go for a run. Just doing one small, tiny thing creates a little spark. And that spark gives you enough energy to do the next thing. And then the next. When I'm stuck writing, I don't try to write a whole chapter. That's too scary. My brain shuts down. I tell myself, just write one paragraph. It can be a bad one, maybe the worst I have written so far. But usually, once I start, I can keep going. So if you are stuck, lower your standards. Make the task smaller. Do something. The inspiration will catch up with you later.
Chapter 6. The magical power of saying no to everything.
We live in a world that tells us we should say yes to everything. We want to keep our options open and suffer from the terrible fear of missing out. But you can't have everything. You just can't. To value one thing means you have to reject something else. If I want to be a good writer, I have to say no to being a professional gamer. If I want to be in a committed relationship with my girlfriend, I have to say no to dating other people. Commitment feels like you are trapping yourself, but it's actually freedom. When you stop looking over your shoulder to see if there is something better out there, you can finally focus on what is right in front of you. You can dig deep and find the gold buried in your own backyard, instead of running around trying to dig shallow holes all over the neighborhood. Saying no defines who you are. It creates boundaries, and boundaries are what keep us sane.
Chapter 7. Death. Because your other plans don't matter anyway.
I want to finish by talking about death. I know, nobody wants to talk about death. It's a downer, but stick with me. I have sat at the bedside of people I loved while they were leaving this world, and I will tell you this, death has a way of clearing out the clutter. When you realize that your time here is short, that you are only here for a brief, flickering moment, you stop caring about the stupid stuff. You stop caring if someone on the internet disagrees with you. You stop caring about having the fanciest car. You stop caring if your thighs jiggle. You realize you only have so much energy to give. You have a limited number of things you can truly care about. So, you have to choose. You have to stand at the edge of that cliff and ask yourself, what actually matters? Is it love? Is it kindness? Is it making something beautiful? Is it your family? Thinking about death doesn't have to be scary. It can be the thing that wakes you up. It can be the thing that makes you want to live right now, with your whole heart, holding nothing back. Life is messy. You're going to fail. You're going to hurt. You're going to be painfully ordinary. But that is where the good stuff is. It's in the mess. It's in the struggle. It's in the moment you stop trying to be perfect and just start being you. Go pick your problems. Take responsibility for your messes. Do one small thing today. And try, if you can, to be a little bit kinder to yourself along the way.